Unless Republicans in Congress do something about it, this Saturday night, at 1 minute past midnight, the federal government will shut down. And while the House Freedom Caucus is making radical demands and treating this all like a political stunt, that Saturday night deadline is very real in terms of the harm it could cause for hundreds of thousands of Americans. Now, I am old enough to remember the last time the government shut down because Republicans wanted something ridiculous. It was right around Christmas of 2018. The federal government shut down because President Trump demanded funding for a border wall that he never ended up finishing. And on Capitol Hill, it was a spectacle. But for 800,000 government workers, these antics meant 35 days without a paycheck.
The New Life Worship Center in Capitol Heights is opening its doors to furloughed workers, providing donated food from grocery stores and church members.
I'm with Department of Commerce, and 4 weeks, no check.
Many of the folks in this line have worked for the federal government for decades.
30-something years.
And don't know what it's like to go without a check. That's how Nicole feels.
I think I cry like every day.
And this mom who works for the IRS.
I have 2 sons, and they know, and I'm like, Mommy's going to stand in line today for food, you know.
Never thought you'd be here.
Never thought.
And this time around, there are literally thousands of government workers who, if Republicans in Congress refuse to fund the government by the end of this week, who will face potentially devastating financial situations just like that. Yesterday, ABC News interviewed a cafeteria worker at the Library of Congress, a woman named Willie Jo Price.
The government will go back and they're going to get paid. We're not going to get anything. We got to try to scrape by, and you got to listen to the phone calls come because you haven't paid your bill. You haven't did anything. And I've been there and I've done that. I've been up on this hill for 42 years. I've been there.
For workers like Willie Jo Price, a shutdown means no work and it means no pay. The money just never materializes. And then for another class of workers that we deem essential, it means they don't get paid, but they still have to show up for work. And that's going to be the case for roughly 1.3 million active duty U.S. military service members. Again, if Republicans in Congress can't get their act together by Saturday. Now, they would get back pay once this is all over, but it is unclear when this would all be over. The Federal Aviation Administration could be looking at a double government shutdown this weekend, and that's because Congress is also running up against the deadline to renew the law that allows the FAA to function in the first place. That means the agency would furlough more than 17,000 workers and force 25,000 to come to work unpaid. What about the people who, as of Saturday, may not get paid for their work, which is to say federal workers, Claire, because the House Republicans, in a mess of their own making, are now trying to pin this on Joe Biden. I think we have time to play this choice sound of Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy blaming Joe Biden for the impasse we currently find ourselves in.
Why don't you sit down in a meeting? Why aren't you serious about making sure government doesn't shut down? The first thing I would do, I would sit down with us. I want to sit down with the president to secure that border. The Senate has not taken up the House work, so no, the president should step in and do something about it. Otherwise, government will shut down.
What? Wait, what? The president already sat down with Speaker McCarthy. They hammered out a deal, and now Kevin McCarthy's people don't want to abide by it. I mean, in the broader context here, how damaging is a shutdown for Republicans right now, Claire?
I think it's bad. And here's the problem he's got. In order to keep the government from shutting down or to open the government back up, he's going to have to go to Democratic voters.
That's it.
And that means he can't be speaker anymore. So
right.
I got here, Kevin, here's the thing. It's going to be painful. Tear off the frickin' Band-Aid, confront those extreme people in your caucus and say, take me out if you can, but I'm going to do what's best for this country and, frankly, what's best for our party.
Yes.
But he seems like he's really a bad negotiator and a really big coward.
So how does it end? I mean, do you think the shutdown's inevitable?
I've always said, because I was there for many, many times when the government was going to shut down, and it never did.
Yeah.
I've always said they'll figure out a way. This is the first time. I don't think they're going to figure out a way. I think it's going to shut down. I think he's going to have to get Democrats to open back up because I think the stock market and the ripple effect is going to be huge, and he's going to own it. He's going to get it opened back up. And then I predict before we say trick or treat, we'll be calling somebody else speaker.
Whoa.
And I interviewed Hakeem Jeffries, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, tonight. He said all options are on the table. There is a chance that Democrats push a discharge petition, WWPD. What would Pelosi do? She would say, I got that Senate bill sitting, cooking right over there.
She does.
And he
Let's go.
learned from her. He's ready to play. Discharge petition, put through that Senate bill with majority Democratic votes, and then that immediately triggers Matt Gaetz, who wants to be governor of Florida based on shutting down the government, to say, bye-bye, Kevin. You know who's the real speaker if Hakeem Jeffries solves this? The speaker is really Hakeem Jeffries anyway.
Oh, boy.
Or apparently it's Joe Biden, because according to Kevin, Joe Biden is the speaker.
I'll tell you
it's
what,
somebody other than him.
might not be House of Kev for that much longer.
Hello.
Can you just stay for the whole hour, ladies? I know you can't. You have other things to do. Claire and Joy, my friends, colleagues, wise soothsayers, predictors, Halloween deadliners, thank you for your time and thoughts tonight.